I've known them for quite some time. I couldn't be more thrilled with the success that they've enjoyed since this movie first came out, and I sure as hell couldn't be more thrilled that the movie's coming out again. When I first got together with my girl, who is now my fiance.
Congratulations!
And she's sitting right there. I forced her to watch this fucking movie, and like everybody else in the world, she absolutely loved it. 98% positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. 98! That's fucking ridiculous.
More interested in what their 15-year-old no-one fan had to say than they were being complimented by all these rock stars. They were so fucking cool. They said, look, we've never been here before to London, would you show us around? So there I was, a 15-year-old kid, showing my heroes. And I took Anvil, can you imagine, I took Lips and Rob to the Houses of Parliament and the Tate Gallery. And I just took them all out. I mean, just watching Lips look at the Turner painting for the first time, it was a cultural event of unparalleled proportions. It was just so strangely emotional. But the thing is, they were so fucking nice to me. I was an only kid, they were my elder brothers. And of course, I had to take them back to meet my mother. So I lived at 54 Abbey Road, and I went to the door, and I rang the bell, my mum came down, and she saw me with Anvil. And she looked at me, and she looked at Anvil. By the way, I had their posters all over my bedroom walls, right? She said, you've got 5 minutes. And get them out. Yeah, no, so I showed them around, and it was incredible. I took them into my bedroom where I had posters of them on the walls. It was like a trip. Anyway, so they said, what are you doing next summer? I said, I'm on school holiday. They said, how do you like to come out with us on the road? So I became a drum roadie for the legendary drummer Rob Reiner. Now, Rob Reiner is not the director of Spinal Tap. Rob Reiner is also the drummer of Anvil, with 2 Bs. It's amazing the carnage a single misplaced consonant can wreak, but it has caused a lot of wreckage over the years. Anyway, so Rob took me out on the road, and I would set up his drums, and I would watch one of the great heavy metal drummers who people know, one of the greatest of all time. His double bass drums were just off the charts. Who knows Rob Reiner's drumming? Yeah, okay. So the Anvil fans know. So I got to sit behind him every night and set up his kit and watch him do things. And Rob would do these incredible moves, and then he'd turn around and give me this smile like, you will never be able to play that. It was so sweet with me. Anyway, I went on 3 tours in the 80s as a 16-year-old, 17 and 19-year-old kid with Anvil. I lost touch, like most kids. I kind of got into David Bowie and the Stooges and all this stuff. And I kind of lost my heavy metal roots, and I lost Anvil. In 2005, I'd come to Hollywood and I was working, and I'd done reasonably okay. I just made a kind of a big film or whatever. And I wondered one night, what happened to my friends in Anvil? And I went online and I saw this rinky-dink website, which you can still find. And I think it's anvil.mysomthingintel.net. I mean, the thing is an unbelievable website. Just as a historical document of the internet, it's amazing. And I wrote to this website, and I wrote back and I thought, I don't know if you remember me, but my name's Sasha, if you could pass the message to the band. You know, I knew them in the early 80s, and anyway, within an hour, I got a message back from Lips. Dear Teabag, which was my Anvil name, Dear Teabag, we thought you died or became a lawyer. And what I had to say was that I had actually a minor heroin overdose while at law school. So in fact, he was completely correct. And so I was so into this fucking guy who's so excited. I got him a ticket, and the following weekend, Lips flew from Toronto to LA, and I met him at the airport, and the first thing I remember was he was wearing the same Scorpions t-shirt that he'd been wearing 24 years ago when I'd seen him. And it was like, we're doing this album, we're doing album 13, and we're doing all this stuff, and at first I thought, my God, this is really sad. You know, all the bands they'd influenced that you'll see in the movie, Metallica, all these incredible guys, you know, had gone on to sell, you know, millions and millions of records. Anvil hadn't, but he was still bright and optimistic, and he wasn't bitter, and he was open, and he was like, we're still fucking going for it. Meantime, he was working at a place called Choice Children's Catering in Scarborough, Ontario, delivering meals to kindergartens, right, while he's doing this, but he still believed the band was going to make it. And I thought, by the end of the weekend, you know what? I fucking love this guy, because he hasn't given up. It's so easy to do that, right? And he wasn't giving up. And I took him to my good buddy, Steve, and his wife Elizabeth. And I remember going down to Malibu, and Lips was explaining to my buddy's wife Elizabeth, this is what we're doing. And I remember watching through the window, and Steve said, "Who is this insane person you brought to my house?" And I explained, look, like this band and what they're doing. And he said, this guy is incredible. Maybe there's a movie there. And I called up my friend Rebecca Yeldon, the unbelievable, brilliant producer of Motorcycle Diaries, and Kite Runner, and many other things. And I said to Rebecca, I said, look, I've got this crazy story. I know it's probably not that commercial. But let me tell you about these two best friends in Toronto who founded this heavy metal band, Anvil. And at the end of it, she said, I hate heavy metal, but I have to do this movie. I love this story, because the story is not about heavy metal, it's about not giving up. And so we got this incredible crew, many of whom here tonight, Chris Seuss, and the incredible Sean Barney, Andrew Mueller, all of you, and the incredible Andrew Dickler who cut the movie. And we just put this troupe together, and we went off and we made this movie, and we had absolutely no idea what was going to happen. But we were very lucky that the Sundance Film Festival let the movie in, and we had this incredible screening at Sundance. Some of you were there. Sean Barney, I can see you smiling. And this incredible thing happened. At the end of the screening, 600 people who were there went out into the snow, and they started buying Anvil merchandise. And there was this woman who probably was late 70s, early 80s, and she bought 3 Anvil t-shirts and 2 CDs. And I asked her afterwards, I said, you don't seem like an Anvil fan, just out of interest. She said, I will never listen to these, I just want to help. And we knew then that we had something, that this was maybe a movie for people, and that maybe it was something beyond just the way that we'd been put into the pigeonhole of we're just a sad little heavy metal documentary. So we didn't have any offers, but we had some interest. But basically, I'd seen the movie play, and I was just so believed in it. I was like, you know what, we're just going to take this out into theatres. We've got Richard Abramovitz, who's still involved today. And I actually took a second mortgage on my house to release this movie. How insane is that? And I did it, and I did it with pleasure. And I thought, if I die having tried everything. Fuck it, And that was the Anvil spirit, right? And so I did it. And here we are, 13 years later, and the movie's being re-released into 5 times as many theatres as the first time. And that's because of Robert and Utopia and all of you guys. But really, it's because I really love these guys. And I said to them at the beginning, you got to understand, you guys are fucking funny. So I have to put that in the movie. And then over the course of the movie, maybe we'll see what happens. So I just feel so like it's actually a surreal moment to be here tonight. I want to thank my godson Leo, who started this all off. Metal on Metal!
years to get that fight.
Oh, yeah.
It's so rare that, in fact, to be really honest, when that part of the movie comes, I run like hell. I get the fuck out of the room as fast as I can.
Is that true, Rob? That there's not much bickering, there never has been?
Yeah, I don't like it.
I can deal with it. Sorry? Yeah.
All right, so the
I don't have it. I watched it. I can handle it.
That's good to know. Now,
Can you get that for me?
where did you find this new bassist?
Well, actually, what happened was the bass player that we had originally, he couldn't handle what had happened to us in the sense that he didn't feel like he was part of.
You mean you're talking about G5?
Yeah, he didn't feel like he was comfortable any longer because he wasn't getting the recognition that he felt that he deserved. Hey, to each his own. I mean, I can't do anything about that. So he left the band, and we went through a few transitional things because, of course, you don't just quickly get somebody and onward you go. So we had a transitional guy that actually came from New York. He was with us for about just under a year or so. And of course, what was happening is, of course, the guy wasn't coming up from New York to rehearse with us in Toronto. So what ended up happening, Chris started coming out to rehearsals as our fill-in bass player. But what ended up happening is, like, I became so impressed with what he was doing. I'm going like, how am I going to get rid of the other guy?
Yeah. I mean,
which actually what ended up happening is we ended up coming down here to the States, and we were doing a bunch of shows, and when we finished, before we even finished, I had Chris come with us as road crew because I just didn't want to leave him behind. So what ended up happening, we got home and we had another run to go to Europe, and I called up the guy from New York. I said, well, we got another run to Europe. He goes, well, why don't you let Chris do it? And I said, you know what, you're right. Why don't we let Chris do it? And he's been there ever since.
I knew that I was going to see you guys perform tonight, and I knew that there was going to be a new face performing with you, and I expected that to feel like a little bit, but I watched this new bassist playing, and he fits so fucking well. He sounds so great. He's just a goofball on the stage. It's amazing. I fucking fell in love with the bassist.
Come on, Brian.
Chris, you're amazing, Chris.
I'm actually very, very proud of Chris.
It speaks to how fucking amazing he is that here I am, like, I can ask anything, I'm talking about him, and he's the new guy. Dude, fucking bravo, brother. For now. Bravo. And
I'm
Sasha.
very, very fortunate because I gotta tell you right now that ultimately it's one thing to find a bass player, but it's another thing to find a bass player that you get along with and that can fucking sing.
Alright. Sasha, you blew my mind on the drums. I was not prepared for that, and it all made sense. All those nights in your house and the drum kit in the living room now make sense.
Can I just bring a couple of people up to the stage? Because I think, first of all, this is our incredible producer, Rebecca Galvin. Who suffered through the sights and sounds of touring with this band, which was fantastic. Can I tell a true story? The band were touring in the summer, we were filming, and we got into a car. Now, for those of you who don't know, Rob just hadn't changed after he'd worn his stage clothes. He just worn them, and we were all in the car together, and someone said, what is that smell? And Luke said, that is the smell of Febreze fighting a losing battle. So, great tip if you're a rocker and you're playing, just spray yourself with Febreze. It works for at least the first month. But actually, who I wanted to bring up, and this is serious, this is a serious movie, we're having fun. But the reality is this is about real people, and I want to bring up two people. I want to bring up Rob Reiner's wife, Jana, and his son. And I want to bring up Alex's sister, Rhonda Gibson, who played for the rap of Rhonda and Jana. Okay, they're not here. Rhonda, where are you? She's spending the money? Okay. She's coming. Okay, Rhonda, come up.
Okay, now I have a question. In the movie, after you failed to get the record labels to buy This Is 13, we saw in the car all these boxes of CDs. Presumably you sold all of those CDs. I want to know how many more boxes of those CDs did you have to buy?
Oh, there's not many left.
Sit next to your brother. Brother, here's the hat. Oh, you got it.
Rhonda, how much did Lips owe you?
Well, I don't really want to say. He did.
I paid her back. All right.
I want to say something that relates to the scene that we shot, one of the scenes we shot with Rhonda and Lips. And as you probably recall in this audience, at the end of the scene, Lips says in a really kind of emotional, not unusually emotional way, like family's important shit, man. And that
Still is.
That line became for us kind of the touchstone that we return to over and over in this film. And to be really honest, it's the line we've returned to in the last 13 years of our lives. Family's important shit, and it's everything.
I need to write a song. Family's important shit, man.
Rhonda, you and Lips gave us that, and we all kind of have lived that ever since as our mantra. And so, another gift that you've given.
And Jada is here. Jane Weiner, Rob's wife.
We love all the love and support. It's been many, many years. And I actually had the opportunity after 40 years to go on the road with the boys. I will keep my road stories to myself. Because there was a few. But anyway, I really appreciate all coming. And it's amazing to Sasha and Rebecca. Love you guys. It's been absolutely amazing. We have lost quite a few from the movie. It's very hard. Anyway, I love you guys.
And Utopia is interested in working with you. Fucking run in that direction. It's very incredible.
I mean, people go, why didn't you quit? You quit what you hate, and you continue what you love.
I'd like to say too that Rhonda, seeing you in the movie being so supportive of Lips, it's very close to me because in my life, in my pursuits, in my dreams, fucking everybody hated the idea. Everybody thought I was just a tragic fucking loser. Everybody just said, just quit, just stop it, you're fucking out of your mind, except for my sister. And I'm where I am today because of my fucking sister. Yeah. So, Rhonda, I want to tell you, I love you. Like, a lot for being like my sister.
All right, ladies and gents, remember, Jano is selling t-shirts. We're so happy you came. I'm particularly happy for... By the way, who are the people in the audience who've never seen the movie before tonight? Okay. This one's for you. Tell your friends. Thank you so much for coming.
Really big love.